There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I was one. What's up, guys? GeorgeTheCloud here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. We have House of the Rising Sun, epic dark version by Erik Grönwall. I have reacted to some of his songs recently. You know, people writing a lot of comments and support, so I really appreciate it. And big shout out to Lisa. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon member and yeah, just supporting the channel. It makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna check this out, but a ton of people requested it as well. I could see it in the comments. So yeah, also Dean was also one of the people requesting it. But okay, let's get into it. This song was popular or made popular by the Animals. However, I think it predates the band and was written way earlier. Dean was telling me about it on one of my live streams. I do live art now on this channel and on Twitch in case you guys are interested. But yeah, at the end I'll do a little bit of a history dive. And now we get to the song. So let's get started. I of course have heard it before, and I'm looking forward to this version. If you have other interesting videos you'd like me to watch, again, please go to my YouTube. My YouTube, of course, the YouTube, but the Patreon and the Coffee platform. It helps out a lot. Grab some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on, and let's go.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk, and the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. God, I know I'm one.
A hauntingly epic masterpiece. First things first, we hit the like. I am subscribed, and I have a link of the original video down in the description below. One of the greatest covers that I have heard for any song, I would say. This just took it to a different level. It did not disappoint. This title, no clickbait at all. Epic, dark version indeed. Such a mood. I mean, starting off with the song originally, it's incredible. It's one of those songs that it just grabs you right off the hook. There is a house in New Orleans. The intro is like, what would you know, it's so intriguing. And the vocals there is like, okay, what's about to happen? It's like such a, it's like a perfect intro to a song that wants to capture your attention and then bring you into the story. And by the way, a dark story, and it's still like, you feel like the pressure of the song and the history, but at the same time, you kind of wish that you were there. At least for me, I had never been to New Orleans, but you know, after hearing this song, I'm like, man, I want to travel. I want to get out there, you know, and see what happened here, because I'm aware that it has like historically a very rich like culture in music and, you know, in just other things. So I would like to know more about it. But yeah, the House of the Rising Sun, man, that song has to be up there as like one of the greats. If I ever make a list of like the top 100 greatest songs, in my opinion, then I will include this one. And his version, man, the keys are so powerful, right? They're a beautiful instrument, right? The piano, but it becomes powerful when you deliver a certain way. And it's like, okay, we're tingling, we're over here creating the melodies, and the way he's playing the piano sounds very sharp, very cold, icy, and it's just like, you know. And at the same time, we're seeing all this imagery, the smoke going on in the background, the old photographs, you know, the railroad and the people living back then, which for the most part you think like, man, these people had it rough. It was tough living back then in the 1800s, early 1900s. You go from Civil War to the, you know, World War One, World War Two. It's just like, man, I have respect for these people and how they managed to, you know, continue, especially compared to now. I mean, think about it. If we have enough time to sit around, do reactions and watch reactions on YouTube, then we are doing good, I would say. All right. So it starts off, you know, kind of in that mood, intriguing. Okay, the suspense is building, and of course you know what's gonna come, right? The build up, and then the great delivery of the belting vocals. And he's so good at just, you know, kind of throwing that expression out there, raw, emotional, very sincere in his way. And I was actually thinking at the beginning, because he was going on his like lower register, that must have been tough, the intro, because I myself, I don't have a deep voice. I think I have a higher voice. So when trying to do that intro, that it's just like, there is a house, without sounding goofy about it, like really kind of, you know, sounding natural and the way it's supposed to be, it's tougher when you don't have that lower voice, and it's just like you feel the strain. So I was thinking about that for him. But then when he went on with the big notes, that's, when he sounds more comfortable, which may be ironic, because for some people that may be tougher, right? Going into like dun, 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 dun. But to him it looks easier. And then he ends with almost like a whispery type of tone, right? So we have like a whole, this is a movie over here. This is how you want to construct a song, with this type of structure that just kind of takes you here, there. We have drama, we have suspense, we have horror, we have all these things going on. And the more emotion, the better, because then you connect with it, right? At least that's how I feel, and that's the reason why I really appreciate these amazing vocalists. The more expressive, the more emotional, real sounding, genuine, then the more I'm going to be like, yes, this is my type of music. And so man, he delivered here, and just respect, because the expectations were super high. Most people know this song already, and the Animals kind of blew it out of the water. That version is maybe the best ever. But then you have to follow up on those footsteps and do, try to do something else, and however many years later, and you find out that there's people that can do it in their own ways, maybe not necessarily better or worse. It's, why compare? But it's their own version, and this did sound epic. Let me see what the comments are saying here. Who is here in 2026? Me. I'm 76 and was known to sing this song before the Animals got a hold of it. This is the best version I've ever heard. He and his pianist captured the spirit of the song wonderfully, and he sang all the verses I ever heard or read of. I've shared with many. 70s, Linda White 629 was jamming out to the song before the Animals. And by the way, let's take a look at the history. History. The House of the Rising Sun is a traditional folk song of uncertain authorship that traces its roots to the 16th century English ballads. Over centuries of oral tradition, it evolved into an American blues standard, warning against the perils of sin and ruin in New Orleans. The Animals' 1964 electrified rock cover is the definitive version. So we have British lineage here. That's kind of unexpected, right? The melody shares striking structural similarities to 16th century broadside ballads like The Unfortunate Rake, which tells the tale of a sailor dying of syphilis. I don't think I know that tune. The song migrated across the Atlantic, with British and Scottish settlers eventually taking root in the Appalachian region of the United States. Legendary folklorist Alan Lomax collected the first widely known recordings in 1937 from Appalachian singers like Georgia Turner. Wow. The lyrics depict the life of despair connected to a specific venue in New Orleans. The real-life location remains heavily debated, a mystery, if you will. Theories. Popular legend suggests the house was a brothel, a woman's prison with a sun symbol over the gates, or a tavern. I mean, this is what I'm thinking, right? Because I don't think it's talking about a regular like family house. This was some dark place back then. I don't know what went on, but you could hear from the song there was gambling, there was There was alcohol, there was drinking, there's probably violence, and would not want to have grown up in the house of the rising sun, I'll tell you that much. The early 1960s folk musicians in Greenwich Village, including Dave Van Ronk and Bob Dylan, helped revive the song. Dylan's 1962 debut album introduced it to early rock and roll generation. So it was, Dean, one of my viewers and supporters, was telling me about how Bob Dylan was singing it before the Animals, and he was probably the one that, brought it to light. In 1964, the English rock band The Animals recorded the track in a single take. Their brooding, organ-driven arrangement electrified the folk ballad. Oh, that's right. The organ, and in this case, it was replaced by the piano. Topping charts globally, the track is widely considered the first folk rock hit in history. Rich history of this song. Legendary. That is the definition of legendary. And we got a legendary cover here by Erik. Amazing. All right. If you guys have more suggestions, please comment, subscribe, and at the end, do a flip. Till the next.